closing door. The air is thin, but the vision's wide, with nowhere left for the heart to hide. Counting the pulses of a dying fire, of a dying fire, trading the ground for a wire of light. Soar on the wings of the celestial line, where the limits of time and the starlight align. Velocity is calling the journey to bloom, breaking the silence in the velvet room. Higher than mountains we're destined to go, further than begins to sway. The light begins to sway. Beyond the edge of lights are blurring into streaks of silver rain, breaking every link and every gravity chain. Faster than the shadows of the world we left behind, leaving all the heavy thoughts side the rearview mirror mind. Higher than the orbit where the static starts to fade, we are moving through the plans the architect has made, into the gold, into the black. Never thought of looking back. Starlight painting colors that we didn't know were there. Heavy pressure lifting in the thin and silver air. Every mile of mystery, every breath a brand new star. Feel the rhythmic pulse of time inside the cosmic heart. Higher than the orbit where the static starts to fade, we are moving through the plans the architect has made, into the gold, curiosity is all we need to plant the fire and the seed of a world that's made of stars, breaking all the iron bars. In the blink of an eye, we cross the line into the gold of the design. No longer cosmic side